How to increase vitamin D. Before going into video, please do like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post a new video. Here are the top 10 ways to increase vitamin D. Number 1. Spend time in sunlight. Vitamin D is often referred to as the sunshine vitamin because the sun is one of the best sources of this nutrient. Your skin hosts a type of cholesterol that functions as a precursor to vitamin D. When this compound is exposed to UVB radiation from the sun, it becomes vitamin D. In fact, sun-derived vitamin D may circulate for twice as long as vitamin D from food or supplements. However, the amount of vitamin D your body can make depends on several variables: skin tone and age, geographical location and season, sunscreen and clothing. Your skin can produce large quantities of vitamin D on its own when exposed to the sun's UVB rays. However, many factors affect this process. Number 2. Consume fatty fish and seafood. Fatty fish and seafood are among the richest natural food sources of vitamin D. In fact, a 3.5-ounce, 100-gram, serving of canned salmon can provide up to 386 IU of vitamin D, about 50% of the RDI. The exact vitamin D content of seafoods may vary depending on the type and species in question. For example, some research suggests that farmed salmon may contain only 25% of the amount of wild-caught salmon. Other kinds of fish and seafood rich in vitamin D include tuna, mackerel, oysters, shrimp, sardines, anchovies. Many of these foods are also rich in heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids. Fatty fish and seafood are among the foods highest in vitamin D, though exact vitamin content may vary depending on the type and source of the food in question. Number 3. Eat more mushrooms. Mushrooms are the only completely plant-based source of vitamin D. Like humans, mushrooms can make their own vitamin D upon exposure to UV light. Humans produce a form of vitamin D known as D3 or cholecalciferol, whereas mushrooms produce D2 or ergocalciferol. Both forms of this vitamin can raise circulating vitamin D levels, though research suggests that D3 may raise levels more effectively and efficiently than D2. While vitamin D content depends on the type of mushroom, certain varieties, such as wild nightshade mushrooms, provide as much as 2,348 IU per 3.5-ounce, 100-gram, serving. That's almost 300% of the RDI. Due to their exposure to sunlight, wild mushrooms usually have more vitamin D than commercially grown types. However, you can also purchase mushrooms treated with UV light. However, you should always take care to meticulously identify wild mushrooms or purchase them from a trusted supplier, such as a grocery store or farmer's market, to avoid exposure to poisonous varieties. Much like humans, mushrooms produce vitamin D when exposed to UV light. Wild mushrooms, or commercially grown ones treated with UV light, have the greatest vitamin D levels. Number 4. Include egg yolks in your diet. Egg yolks are another source of vitamin D that you can easily add to your routine. Like many other natural food sources, yolks have variable vitamin D content. Conventionally raised chickens that don't have access to the outdoors typically only produce eggs harboring 2 to 5% of the RDI. However, some research indicates that eggs from pasture-raised or free-range chickens offer up to 4 times more, or up to 20% of the RDI, depending on how much time the fowl spend outside. Chicken feed can also affect the vitamin D content of eggs. Those fed vitamin D-enriched grain may produce yolks that boast well over 100% of the RDI. Free-range and pastured eggs are a great source of vitamin D, as chickens with access to sunlight produce more vitamin D in their eggs than those that remain indoors. Number 5. Eat fortified foods. Because few foods naturally contain high levels of vitamin D, this nutrient is often added to staple goods in a process known as fortification. Still, You should keep in mind that the availability of vitamin D fortified foods varies by country, and the amount added to foods may differ by brand and type. Some commonly fortified goods include cow's milk, plant-based milk alternatives like soy, almond, and hemp milk, orange juice, ready-to-eat cereals, certain types of yogurt, tofu. If you're unsure whether a particular food has been fortified with vitamin D, check its ingredients list. Number 6. Take a supplement. For many people, taking a vitamin D supplement may be the best way to ensure adequate intake. Vitamin D exists in two main biological forms, D2, ergocalciferol, and D3, cholecalciferol. Typically, D2 comes from plants and D3 from animals. Research suggests that D3 may be significantly more effective at raising and maintaining overall vitamin D levels than D2, so look for a supplement with this form. Additionally, it's important to purchase high-quality supplements that have been independently tested. Some countries, such as the United States, don't regulate nutritional supplements, which can negatively impact supplement quality. It's best to choose supplements tested for purity and quality by a third party, such as the U.S. Pharmacopoeia, USP, Informed Choice, ConsumerLab.com, or the Banned Substances Control Group, BSCG. Number 7. Try a UV lamp. Lamps that emit UVB radiation may also boost your vitamin D levels, though these lamps can be costly. When your skin is exposed to UVB radiation from the sun, it's able to produce its own vitamin D. UV lamps mimic the action of the sun and can be especially helpful if your sun exposure is limited due to geography or time indoors. UV radiation has been used therapeutically for various skin conditions for decades, but only recently has it been marketed as a way to improve vitamin D levels. Safety is an important concern with these devices, as too much exposure could burn your skin. You're typically recommended to limit your exposure to no more than 15 minutes at a time. You can purchase lamps that emit UVB radiation to stimulate vitamin D production. However, they can be expensive and dangerous if used for more than 15 minutes at a time. Number 8. Eat enough calcium. Vitamin D and calcium work together to make your bones strong. Make sure you get enough calcium by including a selection of dairy products, leafy vegetables, fish, tofu, Brazil nuts and almonds in your diet. Number 9. Eat foods rich in vitamin D. Good sources include eggs, liver, and fatty fish such as mackerel, herring and salmon. Some margarines and low-fat milks have added vitamin D. Food, however, only makes a small contribution, approximately 10%, to the body's overall vitamin D levels, and it is difficult to get enough vitamin D from diet alone. Number 10. Cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is another excellent source of naturally occurring vitamin D, but the taste is unpalatable to many. Try some tips and tricks to help the medicine go down, such as mixing cod liver oil into homemade salad dressing or stirring it into yogurt. And if that doesn't work, capsules containing cod liver oil are just as effective, and more convenient. Let's just have a quick overview into the top 10 ways to increase vitamin D. Number 1. Spend time in sunlight. Number 2. Consume fatty fish and seafood. Number 3. Eat more mushrooms. Number 4. Include egg yolks in your diet. Number 5. Eat fortified foods. Number 6. Take a supplement. Number 7. Try a UV lamp. Number 8. Eat enough calcium. Number 9. Eat foods rich in vitamin D. Number 10. Cod liver oil. Thank you for watching our video. Please do like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post a new video.